I'm so excited to be here with Hannah. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Hannah is not just a student of SOMBA Kickstart, but also team member and friend. We've known each other since 2013, and we were at some parties in Hollywood, pool parties together. Those were the times. Now I can do my own pool party. I just got a hot tub.
I know, that's amazing. I want to come.
So, I wanted to bring you on because we have had this question. You knew a lot of things about online. You knew what a landing page was, sales page. You were writing copies for other people for their landing pages and sales pages. And then, why would someone then benefit from SOMBA Kickstart that already knows so much like you?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. I think it's especially great for like the position I was in was, at a very high level, but still somewhat trading time for money, right? When that happens and when you're really good at what you do and when you're in high demand, then you have that luxury problem that you don't have a lot of time. So I was like for years, honestly, years, like lying to myself, thinking like, okay, after this client thing, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then the next one was already, around the corner. And I was like, okay, I'll take this one more
One
client.
more, one more.
Exactly. And so I was in this loop for a long time. And you know what? It was okay. And I made great money and I had great clients and all of that. But I never got to, create the thing that I wanted to create because I didn't give myself the time and space. And then with Kickstart, it just like, for me, it was very, how can I say that? It was a big relief to just be told what to do and to have that accountability and almost like a little bit of pressure, but like very positive pressure. I know myself, I need it because otherwise I'm just busy doing 500 other things and it'll never get done. And so for me, it was a game changer.
So, when did you do it?
Last year.
Last year. So, in
In,
2020, summer of
yeah,
2020, yeah. So
exactly.
summer school, as we call it in the summer, but it's summer kickstart.
Yeah.
And you had been in online business from 2013. So basically 7 years in online business, and you knew everything about online business. I don't want to make it worse for you, but I'm more like a demonstrate to other people that think like, yeah, this is only for beginners. And I'm like, no. And I think
No.
it's great that you also like, okay, I'm going to do it this level to get the kick in the butt that you need.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, there's so much, it was such a relief to not have to think about it because, if you know a lot, you can also know too much. And then you're in that overthinking trap, right? Because I know 500 different ways to launch and do this and do that. And then, I get stuck there and it's not really helping. So for me, I was like, honestly, the feeling was like gratitude. It was like grateful that someone just gives me that, step by step thing where it's like, okay, was it all new information? Probably not, but I was just so glad that I could follow along. And even though I had other things to do, like I was still able to, follow through and I had committed to the process. And then I also would have felt really stupid, if I would have kind of like, yeah, just not done the work.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically you had to do the work. You had committed to it, and you had the extra pressure of being a team member as well. So we couldn't. So you,
Exactly.
uh, but where are you right now? You are not in Vienna, Austria, where you originally come from. Where are you?
No, I flew to Costa Rica last week. Yeah,
Okay.
because usually I'm here like half of the year, but then with all the lockdowns and stuff, I couldn't go, and then I thought, oh, I'm gonna stay in Europe for the summer, but I don't know, my heart was calling to come here. So I was like, okay, let's just go for a little bit. And
So
yeah.
you are not really a digital nomad, because my concept of a digital nomad is someone that travels from one place to another. So you have found your place.
That's very interesting and timely that you should ask me that now, because usually I am a digital nomad and I move around a lot. Obviously with Corona, like that wasn't a thing for a while. And now, it's starting to, yeah, things are opening and stuff, but it's still obviously not the same. And I'm actually right now in the process of looking for my spot, because here where I am, I love it. I love it a lot, but it's not 100% that. Like, it's quite the remote small beach town, which is great. But now it's starting, rainy season is coming, and then it's just intense thunderstorms and stuff. So it's not maybe for always,
So you
but
are, so you used to be a digital nomad, you would describe yourself, and you are now thinking of half a year in one place and a half a year in another place.
I would say I'm still a digital nomad, to be honest, and I will always travel and explore. But I guess I'm at a point where I'm looking for a home base, other than Vienna, or
Mhm.
in addition to Vienna. Like, you have two home bases and you travel, and I have one that I'm, no offense, not super in love with. Like, I tried again with Vienna. It's not really for me. So I'm like open to suggestions.
Countries, cities Hannah should travel to. Give us your tips. Uh, okay, but coming back to your course, you have been a copywriter for at least 7 years online. You had created a course before. It wasn't your first one, but you kind of had a restart in terms of course creation.
Yeah, like, I mean, I did have a sort of big course that I created in German, and that's still out there. It was just totally different, and I did that with a partner. So that was the one that I created through Kickstart, and it was so funny. Like, I just went into Kickstart like completely clueless. I had no idea, like, what am I gonna do? I didn't have a course idea. I had too many ideas, and I didn't really love any of them. And but then I remember the day where it was like, okay, this is the last day to submit your thing, and I was like, okay, just do it, and so it allowed me to create something completely different. And yeah, then the thing I ended up, creating towards the end of the process, without taking away too much, was like another program that I have by now sold, I think, like about 115 times.
Yeah. So you have sold 115 spots from the other program. So you had your 4 week start course. How many participants did you have?
During Kickstart, the first time, it's a good question. It wasn't even that many. I would say like 500 maybe, or in the group, probably like three something. But then I ran this whole thing again as a free sort of challenge. I don't really like the word challenge. It was like a free course
Yeah.
that I did, and condensed it to a week. Yeah, and I've had like for sure almost 1,000 signups for that,
Mhm.
and then sold the other program. Yeah, and it went really well, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, as a part of the upsell of SOMBA Kickstart, like after the free 4 week course, you created a program which is now what you sell. And you sold 115 spots. And this eventually brought you to six figures, as you have shared. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think in dollars, I must have made last year about, I don't know, would say 160,000, something like that.
great. Great. So,
Yeah, it was amazing.
do you think you would have done it without Kickstart?
Definitely not. And I really mean that. Like, I'm not saying that because I'm part of your team or your friend or whatever. Like, I genuinely mean that. And I keep recommending it to friends, where I'm like, sure, I could have done it,
Yeah.
but that's worth nothing.
Hypothetical.
Yes, I could have done it, but I didn't do it for years, So now it's like the value really is in taking action and implementing. And that was just the one program where I actually did it. So that's also why I want to do it again,
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to do it again. So this is a part of a bigger trend. I'm starting to read articles about this because it's fascinating. When I came up with SOMBA Kickstart in 2018, it was more out of frustration. It was not because I read that cohort-based courses are now in or anything. I didn't even understand what that meant. Uh, I was just frustrated that people were not implementing all the great ideas that I was teaching in my videos. And it's interesting to see that this is a trend generally in online business. So, what do you say from a perspective of copywriter? Is that what you're seeing everywhere too?
I mean, yeah, to be honest, I haven't like joined a lot of things, or I haven't been super, active observing others at the moment, but I could definitely see, even in the courses that I've run, right? Like people actually appreciate it. And, especially, and I don't want to make this a topic all the time, but with Corona happening and everyone just being more isolated at home and, disconnected from others, it's even greater to have like that group energy and, to be part of something and to like, in the case of Kickstart, be held accountable. Like for me, I'm like, I would just pay for the accountability, to be honest. It's just worth so much to me because, I can put stuff in my calendar, blah. It's not the same, right? We all know that. So, so that I think it's a super interesting concept. And yeah, you just like intuitively picked up on it a couple of years in advance, which I think is super great. Yeah, it's super great.
Trendsetter without knowing it.
Yes, no, it's awesome. It really helps people, not just as a participant, I can say that, but also like as being part of your team and like knowing the people and seeing, and reading the success stories and like seeing their progress and also, beyond Kickstart where they're at right now. It's really transformative. Like it definitely can change your life, and I'm not someone to say that lightly.
So, what's happening next for you in building your online business? A
Uh,
little pressure here.
I know I'm like, you're pushing all the buttons today. Well, honestly, I was like I ran my course again and then I was finished and I was like, now what? I kind of didn't feel super inspired. I had this feeling of like, I just don't know. And I was waiting for inspiration. So I thought, okay, maybe the one thing I needed is maybe a little break,
Yeah.
right? To recharge my batteries and stuff. And the other thing is that's why I was like, well, I think I'm just going to do Kickstart and kind of like see where it takes me because I know then I will be doing stuff. And I can't really see it yet. But to be honest, I have a feeling that at the moment, I don't know if that's true for a lot of people. I feel it very strongly. It's a very sort of transformative time at the moment. So I feel like things are
Yeah.
changing and I can't really see it yet, but I can already feel it. So I feel like we're a little bit in limbo at the moment. At least I am. And yeah, I'm not going to say it's going to change everything dramatically, but I feel like it's, a time to evolve a little bit. So,
Yeah.
well,
So, you are going to join us one more time for Kickstart. That's also a question like, why? Why again? Is there something wrong with the course?
yeah, no, if that's what people think, no, but that's exactly what I said. And there's so many people who retake it, right? We know that because I don't know, like I just said, now I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do nothing. Like, yeah, I want to take a little break, but then I do want to do something. But, I don't know. I just know Marie Forleo said that. I don't know if it's her original quote or whatever, where she says something like, clarity comes from engagement, not thought. So it's like, well, if I've reached the point where if I just sit at home on my couch and I keep thinking in circles, I'm not going to get anywhere. So then it's just going to be time to take action. So that's honestly why I want to join it again, just to see where it takes me and to know that, there is going to be some sort of progress and that, I feel like only good can come from it. I'm not doing it with like an attachment of, oh, I have to make X amount of money at the end of it. I don't know. For me, it's more like, you know, get the inspiration and the motivation going and see what I can create sort of in this container.
Yeah. And I'm sure it's going to be amazing. It's been amazing every time for you. I
Thank
always say
you.
clarity comes from action. You can think about it and think about it and think about it. That doesn't change anything. You got to do something about it. So, Hannah, thank you so much for sharing your story. Someone out there who is pretty advanced in online business needed to hear your story. Sometimes we need to take, a step back and actually be a part of something, even if it sounds like it's just for the beginners. Yeah. So, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.